Purple Daily is daily Vikings entertainment. We just want the Vikings to win a Super Bowl before we die.
I will ride with this group.
Seriously, man. Please.
And away we go.
How about a Super Bowl for Christmas? How about a Super Bowl with Santa Claus Declan there, Judd, Phil with family, out of state. But look at Declan right there. How about a Super Bowl championship, a Lombardi trophy, a parade for Christmas? Nothing else. You get nothing else.
That's fine. That's fine. I've been pretty good all damn year. Okay? And this is not a lifetime achievement award. This is just, I've been a good year. Okay? It's been a good year. Things are looking up. I'd love a Super Bowl underneath that tree.
Well, hold on a second. Define good, though. Like, it's relative to what? Like your previous years, which probably have been filled with debauchery. I mean, I've been good all year as well for me, but I mean, some of my past years haven't been so great.
That's what I'm talking about. That's why I'm saying we deserve it this year, because, other years, there's been flaws, or I haven't, I had some bad months or weeks.
What if I was to tell you that Santa Claus last night on the Rudolph-driven sleigh skipped the entire state because all you were going to get was a Super Bowl? How many people would take that?
Are you telling me there is an illegal formation on the sleigh? We had to back up the sleigh?
I know. I'm just saying that we've been gifted. If we were to be gifted a Lombardi trophy, so man, woman, child in the state gets nothing else. So you got to explain to your kids, Santa Claus skipped you.
Yep.
But here's why.
Yep.
How much do you think that we could get that one through with the entire state saying, "Oh, okay, that's fine"?
Yeah, that's fine. Too bad. I mean, that's the way it is. I
tell your kids someday.
Yeah.
So someday when you have kids, who knows when, if you had to explain to them, "Hey, here's the deal. Here's the deal. Declan the second, Declan Jr.
Declan Jr.
Yeah, you're getting
Royce will love that.
You're getting nothing. You're getting nothing.
That's fine.
But we're going to get a Super Bowl. Okay.
Yeah, that's fine with me. I'm good with that. I'm very good with that.
Well, you know what? So on the 25th, on Christmas Day, we have often done, I think, best of shows, or like we've done, like Mackie and Judd and Declan, where we had to, but this year we decided, you know what? No. Original content on Christmas Day. This is how we roll. 365, right?
Yep.
No breaks.
Right.
365. No breaks. 365.
Purple Daily.
And so exactly right. And so today I will bring you the latest pecking order, unlike any other, because I do it like a college football committee. But after watching the college football playoff first round, I do it better than them.
Oh, here we go. Okay, Kirk Herbstreit. Let's
I do it better than them. I'm
let's
actually
rip the college football.
I'm actually
coverage.
not that upset about it. I can't get that. I don't. It's fine. Well, it's not fine, but it can be fixed. It's still a great idea, and I saw that it looks like the first round, as bad as the games were, the ratings, which is all anyone cares about, were just fine. But before we do that, let's talk about our friends at Nicolay Law. Declan, why don't you tell me about them?
Ho, ho, ho. If you've been injured in an accident and Christmas hasn't been going your way, and you've had a little bit of an accidental year, our friends at Nicolay Law can help you out. Our guy Russ, you may have seen his billboards around. They know when you or a loved one gets injured, ordinary life can come to a stop. Things get complicated. And during that time, the insurance companies, they like to pressure you. They don't care if you get better. They don't care if you've had the illegal formation of the 12th man in the huddle. Russell Nicolay will help you out instead. So if you've been injured, get Minnesota's local award-winning injury lawyers. Get Nicolay. Go to Nicolay.com to learn more.
All right. Pecking order time.
All right, I'll get the bed up here. There we go.
Version number 9.
Wow.
We're almost to 10. Version number 9. And keep in mind, so we were actually skipping this. Yep. Because when the season started, we're all like, well, the Vikings aren't going to be that good. So, like, it's not really that much fun to rank teams when the Vikings aren't included. And then as the season progressed and the Vikings won and won and won, and I think Phil said, let's do one. I'm like, I'll do one. That's fine.
That's right. Mm-hmm.
So here's version 9. Let's start, as we always do, with the playoff teams that are out. So there's 14 playoff teams. There's only 10 spots. So Sports Dad can be sort of a Grinch here. You get Cole, Atlanta Falcons. You're 8-7. You're a -22. You've won 2 consecutive games. But who'd they beat Sunday? They beat the Giants on Sunday. I think the quarterback switch is good.
Yep.
But Sorry.
Okay.
It gets tougher because you also get Cole, first of 3 AFC teams on the outside looking in, Houston Texans, who have been out for a while now. They're 9-6. They lost again. They're a weird team. They're plus 20 in point differential. Their strength of victory is 393. Like, you could make a case, but the more I looked at it, I just can't fit them in. Same with the Broncos. Same record. Plus 82 point differential, and they were about to jump in, but guess what happened? Chargers came back and beat them last Thursday.
That's what happened.
Out. You're out. Sorry, Broncos. And then last night at the Wild game while doing this, I put the Chargers in, and then I looked some more, and I said, I can't do that. I took them out. Chargers, Phil would be very disappointed because he's a Jim Harbaugh stand now.
Yes, he is.
Chargers 9-6 as well. Plus 54 point differential, strength of victory 381. Now here's the problem: they almost lost to Denver, but more importantly, they had lost 3 of 4 before beating Denver. In Week 15, I can't get past the 40-17 loss to the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. That sound fair?
Yeah, I mean, I get it.
I mean, you can debate. Like Phil wouldn't like this.
I mean, I need to also hear the list now and to see if those two teams or a few teams should be, around 10 or 9. But I'm curious to hear, your start of your list here. But I could make a case why the Broncos or Chargers should maybe be in there.
All right. Number 10, the team that was out and then in last night as I watched the Wild beat the Blackhawks.
The Wild.
Number 10, the Washington Commanders.
The Commies.
So they just beat Philadelphia. They're now 10-5. Point differential, they're actually pretty strong. Mm-hmm. They're plus 84. They've won 3 consecutive games. Strength of schedule 525. Strength of victory, because it was really pathetic before, but they beat the Eagles. And so it's 412 now. And I love the quarterback.
Yeah.
I love the quarterback.
Yeah, I mean, Commanders are a fun team. That could very well be a team. They haven't clinched yet. Packers clinched on Monday Night Football.
They did.
So we have all 3 NFC teams, at least all 3. I forgot about the Bears, but we don't really talk about them. You got 3 teams in the NFC that obviously have clinched. The Eagles have clinched. They could probably, I believe, clinch a playoff spot this week, most likely, right? Probably with a win and maybe some help. Maybe get one of those the last wild card spot.
Yeah, probably.
Yeah, probably. So. Yeah, and they could be a problem, man. I could see them going into a 2 seed as the 7th and upsetting someone on the road. I could see that. Jay Daniels has been fun. He's been a lot of
really
fun.
Mm-hmm. He's really fun. So partially because of him and the impressive comeback win, which was pretty improbable against Philadelphia, I put the Commanders number 10.
Okay.
Number 9. This is an interesting one. I debated them being 9 or 10, but I moved them up 1 spot, and I have one problem with what I did. The Rams. So the Rams beat the Jets. They are now 9-6. Mm-hmm. They've won 4 consecutive games. They've beaten the Saints. They've beaten Buffalo, which is a big win.
Yeah.
They beat San Francisco, a division rival that's beat to hell. And then they beat the Jets, as I just said. Strength of schedule 507. Strength of victory 448. My issue is their point differential, but it was driven down by their start, is a minus 18, which is not good at all. So I debated where they should be, but given their recent surge, and I think that they are going to make the playoffs, and make no mistake, I think they're going to be a problem. I think they're going to be a bigger problem. Like if you said right now, upset win first round, Rams or Commies, I'm going Rams.
Rams.
Okay.
Yeah. Well, and they're in line to most likely win the West, so they'll have a home playoff game. Not that SoFi is this Rams territory, but at the end of the day, you're sleeping in your own beds. You're not traveling. It's a well-coached team too. Yeah. It's Sean McVay and Matthew Stafford, and regardless of slow starts, weird point differentials, you can't rule a team out like that. In fact, that might be one of the more tougher teams. If the Vikings do get matched up with them in the wild card, in the event that the Vikings were the 5 seed and they had to go to the 4, but yeah, they're a good team. Can't count them out.
That's what I keep the coaching and the players, and just the sort of veteran savvy that exists there. That's what I am falling back on by having them number 9. Number 8, moving down one spot after a loss to Baltimore, the Pittsburgh Steelers. Their resume, Declan, 10-5. Point differential, plus 54. They've lost 2 consecutive games. I still like them, but they've lost 2 consecutive games. Strength of schedule, 462. Strength of victory, 433. The Pittsburgh Steelers are number 8.
They do it every year. They do it every year. No one exceeds more expectations than Mike Tomlin football teams, man. They're 10-5. I personally thought this was the year we finally get the 6-11 Steelers. I really did. But man, this dude can just end. Like, that division's loaded. I know the Bengals. There's a scenario, right? If they win out and they get a little help, they can actually still sneak in. Which, by the way,
that'd be fun.
I would love to see another Joe Burrow Arrowhead game in the playoffs.
We could talk about Darnold because he's playing here and we're all impressed and he's had a great year. But when it comes to the MVP discussion, I said this last week, the sneaky one is Burrow.
Oh, Burrow's insane.
And I know they might not make the playoffs, but ladies and gentlemen, remember in 1987, Andre Dawson, playing, I believe, on the last place Cubs team, won the NL MVP.
Yeah.
Joe Burrow, where's that team without Joe Burrow?
Oh, they're terrible. They're
pick?
absolutely terrible. That defense is so bad. He is single-handedly carrying them to their 8 win. I mean, a lot of people had them as a Super Bowl pick this year, and that's now in question because of their horrible start. But he's having a phenomenal year. And
I love him, man.
Oh, he's great.
I love him.
I love
he's
the moxie.
The moxie, but he's not an a-hole.
He's not. No.
Like,
he bought the Batmobile too. As a Batman guy, I'm a big fan of that.
Yeah. Well, did you see the press conference clip that was put out on X where he was talking about, traditionally quarterbacks buy the whole offensive line, like expensive gifts. Yep. Purdy, I think, bought Toyota cars for his linemen. Like, he got each one a car.
Daniel Jones bought the Giants offensive. Did you see that?
For this year?
Yes.
No, what?
Last week, I think I saw he bought some stuff for the Giants offensive line.
That's awesome.
Unless they got duped by a fake account, which is out.
What did Darnold get his boys?
I don't know. You should ask that.
We got to find out. But anyway, so Burrow said that he bought his offensive linemen all really, really cool samurai swords.
Yes, I did see this.
Because they were asking for guns. And his press conference quote is, I said, guns, really, guys? I don't think we want to do guns. They're not a great guy. Yes. All right. Flipping spots with the Steelers and moving up to 7, which is where the Steelers occupied last week. The Baltimore Ravens, who last week were 8th. They are 7th. They beat Pittsburgh. They are 10-5. Their point differential plus 103. They've now won 2 consecutive games. And here's the thing to hang your hat on here, okay?
Okay. All right. Okay.
Not only are they potentially sitting on another MVP candidate, because there's no question Lamar Jackson is that, but their strength of schedule is 547. Their strength of victory is 540. That is second best among the teams that made this list. They played a gauntlet, dude.
We'll do, by the way, I'll give you I know Mackie likes to do the playoff started today thing. We'll do that at the back end here before we wrap on the pecking order. But for the Ravens, if the playoffs started today, they'd go to Houston, and I would probably take Baltimore. I would take Baltimore.
I'd put your house on Baltimore.
Yeah. I wouldn't put my house on it. Well, I don't own
Who's
this place,
favored?
So
I think Baltimore might be favored in that game.
I think Baltimore's probably 2.5 point, maybe, because usually it could be a pick'em game, but I would probably give a slight edge to Baltimore.
Well, it's 3 points ordinarily if you're just at home.
Correct.
I'd say it's 1.5 at least.
Yeah, probably 1.5, 2 points. Yeah.
Number 6, falling 3 spots, but that's what happens when you suffer a late season loss and a bad loss too. Although Jalen Hurts was out, concussed early in the game at Washington, the Philadelphia Eagles are number 6.
Okay.
12-3, point differential plus 119, strength of schedule 475, strength of victory 449. And of course, if you are a Lions or Vikings fan, you're very pleased because this did help clear up the NFC playoff picture just a wee little bit. But the Eagles falling 3 spots after that loss. They were number 3 last week.
I get it. This hat is itchy. I don't like this hat, so I'm going to change hats.
Well, it's very tough. I told you I tried to do this the Santa hat last year too, and it's not real comfortable with the headphones because it's sort of unwieldy, if you will.
Yeah. I think that hat, no joke, has been in my house or been in my family for like 15 years, 20 years. So I think it's time to.
I hope you don't have lice now or something.
I don't have lice, no.
I mean,
my God, this beautiful head of hair. If I got
just a new case of lice. You have to shave that head. You look like Mackie.
No.
All right, so 6 through 10: Eagles, Ravens, Steelers, Rams, and then the Commanders.
Okay.
Top 5 now. Ho, ho, ho. I envision people are opening presents right now.
Yep.
And some very astute person in the family said, well, we got to put on Purple Daily because it's fresh content.
That's right.
And that's a gift to all of you. Mm-hmm. So everyone in the room right now, holiday cheer. Number 5, the Green Bay Packers. They're hot.
They're hot.
Well, they blew. So they shut out the Saints on Monday Night Football. Now, interestingly enough, that was the first shutout of the season in the entire league. I believe there had never been a year where there has not been a shutout. And it took until, what's this now, week 16?
16, right?
To get a shutout?
Wow. And the last game of week 16.
Yeah. Packers move up 1 spot from 6 to 5, 11-4. Yep. Point differential continues to grow, plus 126. They've won 2 consecutive games. Strength of schedule, 529. Strength of victory, 412. They are here on Sunday at 3:15. Again, if you don't know that, Merry Christmas. The game's been moved to 3:15. Green Bay Packers are number 5.
I know we don't love to give him praise, and I know it's hard to give Packers any type of love if you're a Vikings fan. Jordan Love's so legit. They probably have done it again. He's 5th in QBR. He doesn't take sacks, man.
Hurt. I mean, when he played the Vikings, he was hurt. He was throwing picks in part clearly because he was hurt.
There's so many throws too where he is off schedule, off balance, and off one leg, and just throws a GD dart down the field in prime Aaron Rodgers years. And you know where he learned that? From Aaron Rodgers.
Yep.
He's so good. Packers can be a problem. If the playoffs started today, the Packers would actually go to the Rams.
And let's talk about their coach.
LaFleur.
I mean, Matt LaFleur's done a fantastic job. As good a job. I mean, O'Connell's been great. O'Connell, in my opinion, because there was nothing expected, deserves Coach of the Year. But LaFleur's had a phenomenal year. So Packers are number 5.
Okay.
Number 4, coming off a win on Saturday against the Texans. They'll play again on they'll play again today. Netflix. I hope Netflix is prepared. Do not ruin my Christmas by buffering. I don't want to see no buffering. Doubleheader. You can't be buffering on NFL. Double dip. The Kansas City Chiefs move up 1 spot. Okay. I dropped them to 5. There's a reason why, but I dropped them to 5 last week. But they're 14-1. I take them up 1 spot. They've won 5 consecutive games. I think since their loss to Buffalo, they won 5 consecutive games. Strength of schedule 469. Strength of victory 445. The issue with them is of the top 5 teams, they are the only one that does not have a triple-digit point differential because they've won all those close games and they haven't blown teams out. The Vikings, keep in mind, have won some one-sided games, which is going to explain their point differential, plus 78 for the Chiefs. The Chiefs at 14-1, the top seed right now in the AFC, are number 4.
Okay. It totally. I was just I met up with some buddies on Monday night, watching some of the end of the Monday Night Football game, and we were talking about the Chiefs. That it is easily the most fraudulent Patrick Mahomes Chiefs team, but it's still Patrick Mahomes, man.
Correct. Well, here's the thing that's not fraudulent. That's sort of flipped the script. It's been this way for a couple of years now. The defense is legit.
Mm-hmm. Spags.
But if you recall, like 3 years ago, now their problem is the offensive line's in shambles.
Yep.
And Mahomes is running for his life sometimes. But the reason why the Chiefs are legit is you're correct, Patrick Mahomes, but the defense as well. And when they get in the playoffs, you know they're going to probably create some noise there. So
totally.
Chiefs are number 4.
All right, top 3. Let's do it.
Top 3. The top three is
baby.
But the top 3 is sponsored.
Oh.
The top 3 is sponsored, and I only hope that you took the advice of the sports dad, and someone right now is opening up a gift from our friends at Stoked Barbecue Pellets, a company based right here in our fine state. Why? Because if you know a grill master like a Declan Goff, you know that grilling doesn't end. It continues year round. There's no off-season for grilling. Stoked is the premium pellet that cooks anything that you throw on the grill or smoker to delicious perfection. You can find Stoked at all 22 Fratelloni's hardware and garden stores. Perfect for pellet grills and pellet smokers. Ideal really for all grills. Find Stoked barbecue pellets, 50-count fire starter buckets, 4-count fire starter bags, and what I hope somebody is opening today, which is the barbecue caddy, which is the most magnificent addition for the person in your life that loves to grill. Again, available at all 22 Fratelloni's hardware and garden stores. Don't go with the big guys. Go with Stoked. Check them out, stokedbbq.com, stokedbbq.com. And if your gifts fall flat today and they completely stink, redeem yourself by heading for Stoked tomorrow, and or I should say for Fratelloni's tomorrow. All right, number 3, the Detroit Lions. I dropped him to 4 last week, and I'm keeping him at 3 because the defensive decimation cannot be discounted. And they beat the Bears. Whoop-de-doo. They beat the Bears. The Lions are 13-2. Their point differential is off the charts, 1+194. Strength of schedule, 511. Strength of victory, impressive, 487. They would be number 1, but the injuries have mounted so much that there's, like, the Chiefs would be 1 if they had a better point differential and if the offensive line was not necessarily a mess. So, like, I try to do this not based on, oh, you're this good, and I try to do this like the college basketball committee does, Declan.
Okay.
Based on the resume at the current time. So I penalize you if you've got guys out. And Detroit's got, let's be very clear here, no one left on defense.
A little Ken Palm action. I like it.
Yeah, exactly right. Well, I'm not going to do what everyone else does. It's boring. Number 2. Number 2, you were waiting for it. You're unwrapping the number 2 gift right now. Mm-hmm. It is the Minnesota Vikings.
Wow. All right.
13-2 plus 120, won 8 consecutive games. Far healthier, obviously, than Detroit. Detroit would be ahead of them if they didn't have so many guys out. Strength of schedule, 433. The one drawback where you could debate me, strength of victory, 387. But we've talked about this. Watching the Vikings as closely as we do, I will say this. The strength of victory has been affected now by, like, the fact that the Niners right now have no one left.
Right.
The Niners team that the Vikings played in week 2 had guys. So, anyway, I'm putting the Vikings coming off the win against Seattle, number 2 on the list.
Yeah, they're a fun team. I know. I definitely see a lot more people, buying the Minnesota Vikings stock after their win against Seattle in Seattle on Sunday. But a plus 120 point differential, top 10 defense, Sam Darnold playing. We just talked about Burrow getting MVP votes. Like, so does Sam Darnold. He deserves MVP votes for the season he's having. They've lost 2 games all year. They went 5-0, lost 2, and then have won 8 straight since.
Yep.
So, yes, they deserve. I think a lot of other pundits and rankings probably still have the Vikings outside the top 3, but there's still a case to be made why they should be inside the top 3. And in your case, number 2.
Of the top of the 10 teams that are in this, the Vikings have the longest current win streak. The Chiefs at 5 consecutive wins are second. So yeah, it's pretty impressive. And number one, coming off a nip and tuck victory against the Patriots, the Buffalo Bills. 12-3, point differential plus 138. They've won 2 consecutive games. Strength of schedule, 489. Strength of victory, 456. I actually think, though, that, like, right now, the fact that the Bills beat the Chiefs and the fact that the Bills have probably the odds-on favorite at quarterback in Josh Allen to win the MVP,
yep,
I'm putting the Bills 1. So, my top 5, Bills, Vikings, Lions, Chiefs, and Packers. Oh, my. Eagles, Ravens, Steelers, Rams, and Commanders 6-10.
I like it. There's your pigskin pecking order from Judd on this fine Merry Christmas Day. Love that. Hope you're unwrapping, a Vikings Super Bowl underneath the tree. And then what's in the stocking then? Like, obviously the Vikings Super Bowl is the gift. I know you said you don't get any other gifts, but what's in the stocking? You know, what do we got in there?
A 5-year, $200 billion extension for Darnold.
Oh wow, really?
No,
I thought you were gonna say that for Kevin O'Connell.
No, I'm joking. Yeah, him too. I'm joking.
Okay.
I'm joking. But yeah, stockings. I've never really gotten the stocking, to be honest with you.
It's my sister, for example, my oldest sister, thinks the stocking is the best part of Christmas. I think that couldn't be more
does she
wrong.
undo the stocking? Does she? So like when I was a kid, early December, I forget what it was, Saint something day.
Oh, yeah, but I remember at Catholic school stuff. Yes, I know.
My mom would put out a stocking then, and it would be like a prelude to Christmas stocking, right?
Yeah, yeah.
And it might be some like baseball cards and stuff. Not bad, but it didn't touch Christmas.
No. My sister does the stocking first before she even opens up her presents.
So like, what's ordinarily in her stocking that she likes so much?
Like knickknacks and other, I don't know, things that she wants.
Yeah, I think my mom probably liked that too.
Yeah.
I've never, I mean, I like the stocking hanging thing. I think it's sort of cool, especially like if your name.
Yeah, it looks good.
Like, I've got one. Dawn, Stella, of course, has
Stella,
one.
yep, Benny has
but
two.
I don't have the, I don't enjoy it that much.
Yeah.
And
Yeah,
plus it's like,
yeah.
the stocking stuff, it could be handed to you.
Agreed. It was the Vinster's birthday on Tuesday, December and Christmas Eve, so 3 years old. 3 years old, the Vinster.
The Vinster was born at a bad time. Hard to get, unless he can double dip the gifts.
Taking a little Christmas Day snooze right now. There he is.
He's bored with the show.
Yep, yeah, he is. Well, you've seen his father. He's sick of me. He's just like your Stella. Just gets sick of you.
Oh yeah. Well, here's the problem. Stella is a rescue. We have no idea what her birthday is.
Yeah. You take her gotcha day and turn it into that. Is that what you guys do?
Not really.
No,
I mean,
you don't even give her a birthday.
She gets so many damn treats. She gets so much. There's not like every day is. She was up today on Christmas Day at 6:30, barking up a storm to go outside and be fed, and she would not relent. She got up on the bed and was actually pawing the covers off of a good old Pop.
Yep. Wow.
So that he would get off his ass.
Wow.
What you got for me?
All right. Before we wrap, here's the NFC playoff picture. If the playoffs started today, 1 seeds are the Chiefs and Lions right now. In the NFC, the Commanders would be the 7 seed going to Philadelphia to play the 2 seed. Little NFC East action on Super Wildcard Weekend. That could be a blast.
I like Philly there. Yep.
The 6 seed Packers would travel to LA to play the Rams.
What a heavyweight bout that would be.
That'd be a fun game. That'd be a very fun game.
Yeah, and LaFleur against McVay.
Yeah, that'd be sweet.
Oh boy.
And then your Minnesota Vikings at the 5th seed would travel to Atlanta to play Michael Penix and the Atlanta Falcons. Judd, if that was the case, if the Vikings do match up with the Falcons as the 5 seed, and with Super Wildcard Weekend being a 3-day event, Saturday, Sunday, and then there's the extra game on Monday now.
That's right, yeah.
Would the Vikings probably have the first game on Saturday because it's like the least sexiest? Where do you think time slot? Like what day?
Well, what's on the so that
on the AFC side?
Yeah, what's on the that side of the bracket?
So Chiefs get the bye in the AFC.
Yep,
the 7 seed Broncos would go play the Bills.
Okay.
The Chargers would go play the Steelers as a 6 versus 3. And then the Ravens would travel to Houston to play the Texans.
Whew. The Texans are very... It feels like when a team like the Texans gets in, they often get the first game.
Yeah, I can see
on
that.
Saturday.
Yeah.
But yeah, that Vikings game... Like if it was Cousins playing well against the Vikings, that's great.
Oh yeah,
but
yes,
it's not.
Correct.
Yeah, that's not too attractive. But if I'm a Vikings fan, I'll take it.
Oh
like
you take that path. Yeah,
you put it wherever you want. I'll take that game. The Rams Packers game. Like if I'm the Vikings, that would be a heavyweight first round game. That strikes me as a primetime game, right? Mm-hmm. But I think if I'm a Vikings fan, I happily go to the Falcons and play them. The rookie QB, and I just don't. I mean, perhaps I'm just all wrong here. Falcons don't do much for me. Quick question for you: what happened to your guy Kyle Pitts?
I'm telling you, not that good.
But didn't you love him?
I kind of liked him, but
Coming
here
out
was
of the
my
draft,
thing.
I thought you loved him.
Here was my thing with the Falcons. Was Kirk's getting all these weapons. They're a quarterback away. They have all these weapons, and Bijan's good. By the way, I'm not
Bijan's
denying
great.
Bijan's really good.
Yep, and they got
But
some
like,
receivers.
well, they draft all these great top 10 players and Drake London and Kyle Pitts. Maybe these guys aren't that good, and I that was kind of my thing going into it.
Did you see the drop that he basically put into the hands of a Giants player on Sunday?
Yes, I did.
What the hell was that? And here, he didn't complete his routes. He doesn't look to me like he cares.
No, I don't think those guys. Yes, they had draft capital in the top 10. That's great. Most likely guys like that hit more than they don't.
I like the receivers, and I love Bijan as well.
Bijan's great.
But I thought Kyle Pitts was going to be this like Swiss Army knife tight end, like go to that, ascend to one of the tops in the league, and here he barely ran his routes at times. It was just very bizarre.
Yeah, it is very strange. Very, very strange. Well, there's your pigskin pecking order on this Christmas Day as my recycling and garbage trucks clean out the neighborhood. If you can hear that in the background, a truck's
They're making them work on Christmas Day, huh?
I know. Isn't that crazy?
That's just awful. Terrible what's going on in here.
You will have a Thursday episode tomorrow.
And a scoop.
And a scoop session on the Minnesota Sports Mackey and Judd phase. AJ will be swapping in for Dex for those shows, so you can go check out that episode. And then Friday here on Purple Daily, Feedback Friday, Snake Draft of the Week. That'll be back at full strength for this show. Purple Picks, full strength. And then, of course, Vikings Vent Line. With Packers and Vikings being moved, which was confirmed on Monday. Yeah. That's a 3:25
Tom Brady.
kickoff.
We get Tom Brady.
We get Brady. Congrats. I can't wait. So it'll be fun. That's your holiday schedule. Appreciate everyone having listening and supporting Purple Daily. Have a very safe and Merry Christmas. We appreciate you guys and happy holidays. Thursday, tomorrow, and then full strength shows on the weekend. Purple Daily, where we just want to see the Vikings win a Super Bowl before we die.